We live in a time of record inequality. While billionaires build rockets to the stars, millions of us can't afford our rent here on Earth. And yet, despite how obvious the problem seems, despite how many of us struggle under the same pressures, we just can't seem to come together. We know the system's unfair, but somehow that outrage never turns into unity. Why? Why can't we unite against wealth inequality? Well, today we're going to look at that and then look at some reasons why we keep turning against each other instead of turning towards change. Wealth inequality isn't new, but it's never felt as extreme as it feels now. In most Western countries, the top 1% now own more wealth than the bottom 50% combined. Let me just let that one sink in there for a second. Because it's not just about that wealth. It's about what it brings. It brings power, it brings opportunity, and it also brings influence. While the majority of people are stuck in wage stagnation, rising housing costs, and insecure work, the wealthiest are multiplying their fortunes through assets, investments, and exploiting tax loopholes. But here's the key problem. Wealth inequality doesn't just divide classes, it divides people, because the more unequal society becomes, the more people start to mistrust one another. We stop seeing each other as allies and start seeing each other as competition for the scarce resources that are available, and that's exactly where the system thrives.
That's the thing that annoys you. Can't stop us! We love you, Media!
Let's break down some reasons why people can't unite against wealth inequality, even when it hurts them too. The first reason is simple. Division is profitable. Media companies, political campaigns, and even social media platforms make money from outrage. The more divided we are, the more we click, share, and fight, and the less we notice where that real power lies. Instead of asking why billionaires pay less tax percentage-wise than teachers, we're told to blame immigrants, lazy people, or some other side. It's a strategy that's as old as politics itself. Keep the public fighting horizontally so they never look vertically. So while we argue online about who deserves help, the wealthiest quietly buy another yacht, another supercar, another politician. Division isn't an accident, it's a business model. The second reason is the myth of fairness, the belief that the system rewards hard work. We're told that if we just hustle harder, save smarter, or believe in ourselves, we'll make it too. And if we don't, well, it must be our fault, of course. This myth keeps people defending a system that's actively exploiting them. It convinces the poor to protect the rich because deep down, many people believe that they will eventually join them someday. But statistically, that dream is collapsing. Upward mobility has stalled, wages haven't kept up with the cost of living, and yet the illusion of fairness keeps people silent because for them it must feel it's easier to believe that the system works than to face the truth that it actually doesn't. Another reason we can't unite is mistrust, both in institutions and in each other. Following on from the point that's made earlier, when we get to that stage where we realise that the system isn't fair, we look to find out why it's not fair. We've lost faith in government, in the media, and even in some of the movements themselves. Every protest gets labelled as fake or woke or anti-woke. Every idea gets reduced to a political team, left or right, liberal or conservative. When everyone's suspicious of everyone else, no one can build any kind of solidarity. We've become trapped in identity-based silos, fighting cultural battles while economic power consolidates above us. And so instead of asking, how can we fix this together, we ask, which side are you on? And that question alone kills unity before it even starts. So why can't people come together against wealth inequality? Because people are being split using divisive tactics to highlight differences rather than our similarities, because the system itself isn't fair. It's designed to have winners and losers based not solely on merit but on luck and inheritance, because people are being tribalized into groups that have no overlap. You're either this or you're that, and there's no compromise in between. And there are many more reasons that I didn't put into this video, but simply put, we've been divided for profit, distracted by myths, and isolated by mistrust. The truth is, The wealthy don't need to fight us because we're already fighting ourselves, but is there hope? Is there some kind of sunlit upland somewhere? Well, every major change in history, civil rights, labour rights, women's rights, etc., started with people realising that they had more in common than they first thought. But that starts with conversation, empathy, and the simple recognition that most of us are struggling in the same system. But I don't think people really want to hear that. I don't think that the people that went to the Unite the Country March want to hear that they're closer in financial terms to those coming over on boats or seeking asylum than they are to Elon Musk. A South African living in the US while telling British people to fight or die, when redistribution of his money, or Bezos or Trump, would go a lot further to easing wealth inequality than, say, calling out Starmer or foreign aid or any of these other things they use to distract. I think we'll see a further wealth squeeze. People are too easily split for there to be any other outcome. I don't think there's any appetite out there amongst working people to band together and to stop the erosion of their living standards. Until there's some form of accountability on people, I don't think that's going to change. I think divide and rule only works if we stay divided. So that's me finished. Thank you for your time in watching this video. Really appreciate it. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the comments where have I gone wrong. That's absolutely fine. And finally, support independent thinking.